What's going on, guys? Duelim here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Cosmic Crucible, and we're going to be seeing what I have on defense for week 3, what you guys should probably put on defense, and some other options for you guys. Also, some tips and tricks to dominate week 3 of Cosmic Crucible. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Coming into room number 1, we've got Unlimited with Quicksilver, and I took out Fire Chicken. For this room, people have been really underestimating it, and it's been doing some great things. Obviously, Rogue and Gambit are a power couple because they give Safeguard. Obviously, the pings from Gambit here being a Raider, if he drops under 50%, is great. Rogue is always an issue with the Reflexive Taunt, and also if she drops below 50%, she's a Skirmisher, so if she hits that special or ult, it's doing a lot of damage. And then Quicksilver is just another person that they're going to have to worry about, which is also great. Also, I found no use for Quicksilver on offense, honestly, which I was kind of surprised about. Thought he was going to be pretty good with Doom as kind of a power couple somewhere, but honestly, I've also found him pretty much useless in every other room on defense, so I figured throwing him in here has been good. I've gotten some defense wins from this, and Dazzler and Phantom X are obviously there for their passives. Dazzler's always there for an unfortunate flip if she is able to get to her ult, but honestly, they're holding the pom-pom, so they're walking so others can run. Other options you can put in here, you could throw a Dormammu in here for some revives if you want that, just to make this room a little bit harder, and then you obviously it's going to pull an MOE or it's going to pull a Superior 6 because they're going to have the revives. But honestly, this team in here is so low budget. It takes nothing from your offense really, because I haven't found a use for Quicksilver, like I said, and it's been catching people off guard. So I think it's a great option for room number 1. Coming into room number 2, we've got Secret Defenders with Spider-Man Noir, and the reason why I'm running Spider-Man Noir here is to mess with the New Warriors counter. So obviously, we know Spider-Man Noir takes his turn first, and if he takes those dodges off of Gwen, and then Ms. Marvel Hardlight ults and also hits the Gwen pool, it's an automatic loss for your opponent. There are ways around it, so if you want to figure out those ways around it, check out my Counter Everything video regarding Black Knight. That counter is going to be in there because I know you're going to be seeing this a lot on defense this week. The other reason why I have it in room 2 is because Robbie and Noir are mystics. Now, I know obviously the room rules here aren't the best, and they're just kind of meh, but they do benefit from the drain. Obviously, Robbie's going to be taking a lot of turns because of the bleeds getting put out, and also Robbie is most likely going to have a decent amount of negative effects on him because most people target Robbie Reyes when they go against him because he's such a force to be reckoned with. So I think SD Noir is an incredible team to put in here. I think the days of putting SD in 4 are gone, honestly. So being able to put them on defense somewhere else is good. They're also a decent option for offense. If you really want to go offense heavy, you could put them on offense, but I like them on defense because they pull a pretty big team if the New Warriors counter isn't working and they get frustrated and they take like an APOC, a Super Scroll, maybe a Superior 6 in here. It's honestly to draw something big, and if they do New Warriors it, then guess what? They lost one of their master keys, so now they can't New Warriors anything else. So I think SD Noir in room 2 is going to be a great choice. Coming into room number 3, no surprise here, we've got Infinity Watch. They're nuts in this room, dude. They take absolutely nothing from your offense because you will never use this team on offense. They would be super inefficient. They're an incredible team in this room because they spawn with 3 turns of defense up, 3 turns of safeguard, 3 turns of immunity. I mean, this team already was cancerous to begin with because of what they started with, and now it's for 3 turns instead of just 1. At 1.7 million, you can't take this team lightly. I don't have any diamonds on this team. Actually, I do have 2 diamonds on Nebula because I pulled them, but I have some G18s on Gamora and Nebula, G15 on Phyla-Vell and Moon and Adam Warlock because of the uniques are super high demand, obviously Miasma and Astral, Moondragon's G17, so a decent investment into this team. And I'll be honest, I put 50 million gold into this team before Cosmic Crucible Season 6 started, and I have not regretted it at all. I took them from 850k to 1.7 mil. They're nuts. They're absolutely nuts in this room. Other options you can put in this room are obviously Superior 6, but Superior 6 still gets countered by the APOC Doom Undying team and also Sus Doom and 3 others. So I feel like putting Infinity Watch in here is just an efficiency sink unless your opponent uses Apocalypse. And if your opponent does use Apocalypse here, then they're not going to have them if you have Scroll on defense somewhere, or they're not going to have Apocalypse to take out Black Knight, who's the biggest and baddest guy that's changing Cosmic Crucible completely. But yeah, for room 3, Infinity Watch is absolutely the way to go. Coming into room number 4, this is where you're going to see the most variety. I feel like the out of time 3-piece is going to be your best choice here. And then the other 2 are going to be up to you, honestly. And it kind of depends on your roster. For me, I have out of time 3-piece. They're all level 97. They're all G18. I have a 5/5 Black Knight. They're all pretty beefy. And then I put Hulk and Red Hulk in here. So the Red Hulk is going to be obvious because of the charge mechanic, his special going off turn 1. He's at 133 speed, so he goes really quickly. And then the Hulk in here is going to be just an extra person that's going to taunt. He gets the speed bar when he drops below 50% health. So that's another kind of issue that can be thrown around here. His taunt turn 1 with the heal is really nice. But he's also going to give Red Hulk safeguard and immunity on spawn, so it's going to protect that Red Hulk a little bit. And then also you're going to have 3 different people that are going to taunt here. So you have Black Knight going to taunt turn 1 here. Then when Black Knight drops below 50% health, Captain America is going to grab that taunt. Then if you have primary and adjacent damage pushing that Hulk's going to get dropped below 50%, get that turn meter, then he's going to taunt. Peggy's going to get the rebalance heal on people. Red Hulk's going to have a heyday with his special and basic and all that kind of good stuff. Red Hulk's always a good character here. And then obviously, if you're not able to kill that Black Knight super quickly, then guess what? Black Knight's going to keep hitting you with his charges. This team is really annoying to go against, honestly. There's a couple counters to it, obviously. I talked about it in my Counter Everything video that involves Black Knight. So you can go over there and check it out. This team is pretty good on defense, though, honestly. There's other options you can throw in here, such as like maybe a Nick Fury just for the on-spawn speed up because he will special turn 1, which is really nice. I did use that last round, and it did work well for me until a full Hive Mind absolutely ripped it. But you can use things like Nick Fury. You can even throw in just a solo Black Cat in here if you want just a trauma stun right off rip at 132 speed, because Black Cat's extremely fast. So if you take out the Hulk, put a Black Cat in here, maybe you get a trauma stun on somebody and just absolutely foil someone's plans. The problem is I feel like Hive Mind, Void Knight goes first, takes all those death proofs off. Black Cat has all those bleeds and then can just bleed out before she takes her first turn. So it's up to you, honestly. It depends where your roster's at. I did end up taking Green Hulk to level 95 for this because I thought he would be a good addition to this. So we're going to see how this runs, but this is what I'm using in room number 4. Coming into room number 5, another one where it's just honestly a blank room. I threw Darkhold in here because I wanted to take the Tangled off the table because Tangled's a good weapon to use elsewhere if they don't want to Tangled this. So that's why I'm kind of trying to just draw their Tangled Web out here. It's Darkhold Loki. Everybody knows how to beat it. It doesn't really matter what gets thrown into this. It's just Tangled Web, Nova, Kestrel, Iron Man, Infinity War, and it rips it. Nothing special. But again, the reason why I have it in here is to take that Tangled Web off of offense for them, off rip. It automatically goes into this room. Other options you could put in here is obviously Pegasus with Doom. It's an okay option if your Pegasus is absolutely yoked. Even then, it doesn't really matter because then you just run the Eternals, Omega Red, OG Falcon, and Vol combo here. Or you can run like a Spider-Woman here. Shout out to Benny for that idea for me. And then you could just ability block the Doom, push the Doom. Who cares? He's got ability block, and then just delete everybody. New Warriors does great against Pegasus Doom as well. So that's why I'm throwing this in here, because I love to have my Doom on offense as well as my Kestrel. So Pegasus Doom isn't really an option here for me. Plus they're tiny. So Darkhold's still an okay option here just because they take a Tangle to take it down efficiently. Also, if you have a bigger Morgan Le Fay, it can be problematic because sometimes the stuns don't land, the ability blocks. She can get that special off, so it can be annoying. But again, it's a filler room. It's a blank room. I don't see anything else really being useful in here. So that's why I threw in Darkhold Loki. Coming into room number 6, I've got Extreme with Dormammu, and the reason why I'm running this here is because honestly, it's always a superior 6 pull, unless they're going to do like a Super Scroll Hive Mind, which is also a win for me. I have no issues whatsoever if they run a Super Scroll in here or a Superior 6. It's just going to be, means they don't have it for anywhere else. The Dormammu, I feel like, doesn't have enough uses on offense, honestly. I know there's an MOE Dorm counter that you can use against Unlimited or Extreme in 1, but it's not efficient enough to warrant having Dorm on offense. And then having Dorm on defense in here just makes Nightcrawler a pain in the ass, honestly, because of his passive. He's getting all those dodges. If you delete him, he comes back. If you accidentally kill someone, Forge gets 100% turn meter, then they revive. Even if they don't revive, then Forge ult. If you've seen this matchup on the Counter Everything video, my original one, this matchup is extremely finicky and you have to play it very, very, very well. And there's a lot of room for error and a lot of places where you can mess up, or if you do too much damage or you don't know how the turns work or anything like that, it can really mess with people. So I feel like this is the absolute best in room number 6. Other options I've seen in room number 6 are going to be Infinity Watch in here. And that's because everything is going to lose offense up that you want to have to take into Infinity Watch. So like the Eternals big time matchup can't do very well because the Eternals won't have offense up on their turn. MOE, same thing. Kang's going to lose his offense up, so they're not doing a lot of damage. And then if you have a really big Infinity Watch, they're not going to be able to get those permakills, and it's going to become super, super inefficient. You can see in my last matchup in Cosmic Crucible, I actually dropped the fight to an Infinity Watch in here because my Eternals and Undying just didn't have what it takes to take them out, because I was losing all that offense up, defense up, all those buffs that Eternals get. So that's also a good option. You can throw in like a Gamma, Black Knight, Captain America in here as well. But the problem is Black Knight, I feel like, needs to go in room 4 because there's less counters to it when it's in room 4. That's why I feel like it's best in there, but that's just personal preference. But this is what I'm going to be running in room number 6. Now I want to talk about some tips and tricks for week number 3 that are going to help you dominate Cosmic Crucible and all of your opponents, go 3-0, get back up to Diamond or Masters, wherever your goal is to be at, and get those nice Diamond orbs that are in the rewards and all those juicy training mats. So the first thing I want to talk about is going to be Black Knight. Black Knight is going to be the most plug-and-play character right now when it comes to putting him in pretty much every single room. You can slot him in and it works well. The general rule of thumb I want you guys to have for defense for Black Knight: if you have a smaller Black Knight, you don't spend money, you didn't core that much, anything like that, if he's a 3-3, 4-4, make sure you're putting him on defense in room number 4. I feel like this is an absolute non-negotiable, because if he's not on defense in room number 4, New Warriors will absolutely shred this dude apart, because Gwen will take off his taunt right away because she gets the extra focus on her special. And then from there, it's pretty much over whatever team you put him with. Also, Apocalypse against the Black Knight is always going to do super well. So putting him in room 4 means Apocalypse can't ult turn 1. So it makes it a little bit less efficient overall, which is why I like Black Knight in room 4 if he's at a 3-3 or 4-4. Now, for those of you who got him bigger, cored him, spent, did whatever you had to do to get him at 5-5, 6-6, or even 7-7, you have a lot more options when it comes to having Black Knight on defense. You could throw him with Extreme to mess some teams up. You could throw him with Darkhold, was a pretty interesting option. Unfortunately, there are counters to that. I've seen a lot of people putting him with Gamma and then putting Captain America as well, and then the Gamma 3-piece in the form of Brawn, Red Hulk, it was Hulk, She-Hulk, and Red Hulk to have all those taunts going on and all that kind of stuff. So then Red Hulk ends up getting to his ult pretty quickly. It's an option, but unfortunately, if he's not super, super big, he needs to be in room 4 because once again, the New Warriors are just going to rail him. The New Warriors can still do okay in room 4 without their ults, as long as they have like a New Warriors APOC to bolster it. But then they're a lot slower because the New Warriors don't have their ults. They don't have a lot of damage, but they're still able to take that taunt off super quickly because Gwen has that extra focus, like I said, on her special, and she'll still be able to do that turn 1. Now, if you want to use Black Knight for offense, my number one tip for using Black Knight on offense is going to be taking him into any team that you can throw out a crappy fifth and put Black Knight into. And honestly, if you see Super Scroll on defense, just put Black Knight on your offense. That's going to go into Super Scroll, and it's the direct counter. It's Super Scroll gets worked by Black Knight, and it's awesome. So all you're going to do is run Black Knight on offense into their Super Scrolls. Now, if they don't have a Super Scroll, I would recommend using them in the hardest room that you feel is going to be the most annoying to take out, whatever that may be. That's up to you to decide, honestly. So it could be their room 4 where they have a Black Knight. It could be where they have APOC on defense. It could be where they have Superior 6 on defense. Whatever it is, make sure you're using Black Knight into it. And now that I think about it, Black Knight into Superior 6 probably wouldn't do too well because he'll get his charges stolen super quickly from Green Goblin ult. So maybe don't do that one. But Black Knight into the hardest room if you're using him on offense is a great tip that's going to help you guys out big time to maximize him, whether he's on offense or defense. For my last tip of week number 3, it's going to be adapt. Adapting is going to be the biggest thing that you're going to see the top players do that makes them get better and better as the seasons go on, based on who they're going against, where they're ranked in the bracket, and what is working for them on defense and what they're not needing on offense. So obviously, you see something not working on defense and you see something getting absolutely destroyed by a pretty low budget team, you change it, which is what I did here, because Full Hive Mind was able to destroy my out of time Fury with Red Hulk last week. So I'm like, people are getting Red Goblin, I'm changing this. When it comes to what you have left over on offense, if you see stuff left over on offense, throw it on defense somewhere as a plug and play. i.e. Quicksilver. I wasn't using him on offense anywhere, so I'm throwing him on defense. I'm keeping Doom in my back pocket just in case I see a Superior 6 on defense, even though I'm not really using him on offense that much because he hasn't been used. But I'm keeping him because I know if I see a Superior 6, Doom is absolutely going into it to destroy it with Super Scroll or Apocalypse, depending on what else they have on their offense or defense. And the last little part of this is going to be adapting what information I'm giving you, what information other content creators are giving you, and adapt it to your roster. Because I don't know what you have built. Your Darkhold could be super small. Maybe you don't want to build your Peggy or Cap that much right now. Or maybe your Infinity Watch was never built that much. So you need to tailor it to your roster to know what's going to work best for you and kind of filling the holes of what you don't have compared to what I do have, or what I don't have compared to what you do have. You could have a massive Darkhold and they're going to do a lot better than my Darkhold. Or you could have an absolutely cracked Pegasus at like 3.3 million and your Doom is 2 diamond, 3 diamond, and you want to put them in room 5 because why not? Some people may not know that Vol counter or the Spider-Woman counter to be able to do well into this. It all depends on your roster and where you guys are at compared to where I'm at. My information is just to help you guys, give you guys some ideas, so then you guys can plug the holes based on where your roster is different from mine. That's going to be it for this one, guys. That's how I am working through Cosmic Crucible Season 6 so far. We've got Week 3. Those are my best tips I can give you to make it so you could be the most efficient with your fights, whether you're offense heavy, defense heavy, don't know what to do with your Black Knight, or just don't know the power of your Black Knight on offense. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some ideas on what you can do with your defense to change it up, what you could do with your offense. Maybe you're going to completely flip the script and change your offense or your defense based on this information, or you're just going to be able to know where to put your Black Knight the most efficiently. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't, but until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, y'all.